Well, hello people on the internet. My name is LHI Fox, and today we're gonna be having another top 10. All of the last ones were pretty negative. So today we're doing a positive one about my top 10 Gen 1 to 2 characters. Before we start, I just want to tell I'm sorry I couldn't upload in a while because I was out. And I am my short on build versus about got about 1,300 likes and not likes, views, which, wow, thanks. So I think that's okay, and let's get into the video. But another thing, I didn't want to include the Gen 3 cast because, well, I didn't like any of them that much to make it in my top 10. I have 7 that I would call okay. They're better than the other 7, but most of them are not great. I'm just gonna go over them quickly if you're wondering. Jasmine, Sean, Sky, Sammy, Ella, Sugar, and Max. I'm not gonna explain every one of them because this is not what the video is supposed to do. And I will make a top 5 R&R teams. I'm gonna be counting them as teams and not as characters. So, okay, you can be waiting for that. It's gonna be a few videos later because I want to make a video about Minecraft or My Story Animated because I did a lot of Total Drama lately. So let's start with my number 10 pick, and I chose for that a weird one. I chose multiple personality disorder Mike. So Mike would be a lot higher on the list if not for his personalities and some other things. So, I just want to clarify, I actually like Mike and Zoe. I know a lot of parents compare them to Dave and Sky. Ew. But I don't know. But I think that they're a big that in Revenge of the Island and Total Drama All-Stars, they're a big part of the story. So I feel like they're very good. Okay, so I feel like they're a very good couple. Maybe I'll make a top 10 couples list. But I just want you to know, Mike and Zoe, I'm not one of those Total Drama Ricky that's obsessed over them. They're gonna be in the list, but they're not gonna be at number 1. So, Mike, getting out of track. So, Mike, I thought that his personalities that the MPD was a very good idea. I mean, Chester, the angry old man, Svetlana, the agile Olympian, Vito, the Italian man, and Manitoba, the survivalist, and Mel, the evil one, I guess. So I'm gonna go over Mel later, but one of the problems I have with Mike is that I don't know, the way he hided his MPD, it didn't feel real to me. It just felt like it was just there because they didn't know really what to do with his characters. So I kind of felt like that was bad. And Grand Chef Auto. Oh, Grand Chef Auto. And moving to All-Stars, Mike. I think that Mike may be the weirdest winner of all Total Drama, weirder than Beth and Brody combined. I feel like Mike is an okay character to be a finalist. It's not my first choice, but to win Total Drama All Stars. But when I think of an All Star season and the people that are gonna make it that are not finalists, I think that I would prefer this season to have a finalist for Revenge of the Island to be Scott, Zoe, or Mike. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. But the way they did his character, they didn't half of the episodes. He wasn't even there. I mean, he was just in his head, and Mel was in control. I kind of think that I think that Mel was a good villain, but I don't think that it. I think that it limited Mike's development, and I think that bringing Mike back would be a very big mistake because his character was done in All Stars, and 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 all of our storylines were closed. There's no room for more. Any more storylines wouldn't be good for him. So after I talked for 5 minutes about Mike, let's talk about let's talk for about let's talk for 5 minutes about Gwen, my number 9 pick. So Gwen, I think she would be higher. She would be higher. I don't know really, because ninth. I feel bad for putting her in the 9th place. I mean, Gwen is one of my favorite characters, as you can see. But 9th place is okay, and we know how her ex-boyfriend thinks about the number 9. Yeah. So I'm gonna go over, and because I feel like this is gonna take an hour to talk about every character, I'm gonna go over the seasons quickly. Total Drama Island, her best season. She was a finalist. I would prefer. I actually think that her win. I actually like her win more than Owen, but her ending didn't feel right. Her yeah, and her relationship with Trent is okay. And when I rewatched Island, it wasn't as focused as I thought it was. I kind of feel like they're an overrated pairing. Yeah, okay. Total Drama Action, definitely her worst season. I mean, she was eliminated in episode 7. 7. A finalist that made it all the way to the finale in the last season, getting eliminated in episode 7, the fifth one to be eliminated. I just don't find that right. I mean, how she broke up with Trent in the Shevchenko redemption, everything about that. I think that Trent was more. I think that Trent just ruined her character. That's why I don't really like him. He ruined her character this season, so I just feel like it won't be very good to. I can understand why they don't want them to be together again. Trent kind of ruined her character. So, World Tour. As with Courtney, for the first 13 episodes, it could be her best season. I don't know, maybe Island would be better. Definitely for Courtney, it would be her best season. But yeah, for the first 13 episodes, I really like her relationship with Heather, that I forgot to mention, and not relationship conflict. How am I talking today? And Courtney, and I liked how they're bonded together until Duncan came around to ruin both of my favorite characters. Just wait for Courtney to be on the list. She will come. You'll see. She's on the list. Okay, so I'm getting out of track, and I'm giving you spoilers. I mean, episode 14, 15, and 16 were just bullshit. I mean, I didn't like her relationship with Duncan at all, as most people, in the love triangle was just a stupid storyline, taking fan favorite characters and ruining them. Yeah, I didn't really like that. So moving to Total Drama All Stars, Gwen in the season. I mean, I don't know how to say that. It was one of her better seasons. I mean, it was better than Action and World Tour. I kind of feel like that Courtney's derailment didn't affect Gwen that much, and I mean, I thought she was okay, but I definitely think that she went a little bit too far for being already a finalist. So I think that's it for Gwen. Yeah, this video is getting out of track. It's gonna be very long, so never mind. Going to my number 8 pick, it is the fan favorite Dawn. I mean, okay. As I said in my last video, the most overrated character in all Total Drama history. Dawn is overrated, but for those of you who didn't watch the video, I didn't talk about Dawn. I talked about another character. I won't spoil it for you, but it's not Dawn. But I just mentioned it, talked about her for some time there. Yeah, as I mentioned, I think she's overrated, but it doesn't mean she's bad. It doesn't mean I can't like her because she's overrated. She just didn't. She has a lot of potential. I really want her to come in another season and get far. As you've seen with how I would change Total Drama All Stars, she got 7th place. It's not that bad. So I think that if she was to come to another season and to have a redemption arc of sort, I think that would be very, very good. The Dawn part is gonna be very short because I felt like that. I think from all the characters on the list, Dawn got the least screen time, being only in 6 episodes, and not having almost any main roles in any one of them. So I think that she has potential, but it's untapped. Let's go into from the least screen time to the most screen time. If you didn't know, Heather is the character with the most screen time in all Total Drama. And I was wondering what haircut I should do for the picture. I mean, I liked all of her haircuts, and even though Total Drama All Star was her worst season, she had the best haircut. So I think I really liked her there. I really liked her haircut there. Anyway, Heather. Like Gwen, she had good seasons and bad seasons. Total Drama Action and Total Drama All Stars were definitely her worst seasons. I mean, Action wasn't that bad. She didn't do anything bad in the season. She just didn't do anything. And Island and World Tour are definitely the best seasons for her. So I'm gonna skip over Action and All Stars and not talk about them. So in Ireland, Heather was the main antagonist. She's the most known antagonist of the series. I wanted to say that she was the antagonist of Total Drama. She was the original antagonist, but Chris McLean is the antagonist of the Total Dramas of all the Total Drama seasons. So yeah, I guess. Yeah, so Heather in the Total Drama Island, she always had a plan to how to eliminate someone. Whether it was kissing Trent, whether it was stealing Eva's MP3 player, whether it was anything of her plans. Heather has the record for most elimination caused. She has records for a lot of stuff. And she's really a fan favorite character, and a lot of people don't like her, but, well, what can I say to you? That's the point. So, going into World Tour, the best season. Her meeting her love Alejandro was just so good to see. It felt humane. It didn't feel like it was never going to happen. It felt like something like that would actually happen in a reality show. I'm actually not sure if I used the word humane the right way. I don't know what it means. Anyways, so she was a finalist. She had her love life. I really liked that. I'm just sad what happened to her in Total Drama All Stars. Yeah. So, coming in the number 6 spot, and another weird one from the Revenge of the Island cast, possibly the most underrated character in all Total Drama history, I present to you Cameron. I mean, when you think of big Total Drama, Revenge of the Island people, you think of Zoe, you think of Scott, you think maybe of Joe and Lightning, Dawn, Brick. You never think of Cameron. And it's kind of weird that this character gets screen time for it, but he was a finalist. And I really thought that in both of his season he was very good. I mean, maybe not all stars. All stars a little bit ruined him, but not that much. Cameron is known to be an okay character, but no one really put him as his favorite. And you know what? I really like him. Also, in my opinion, Cameron is the smartest character from Total Drama, no matter what. I mean, I don't think anyone can be I don't think anyone is smarter than him. So yeah, and Cameron, he won the season. He literally became Iron Man. So I don't see why people don't like him. I mean, people don't hate him, but people never really mention him. He's just kind of forgotten, and no one really talks about him, and that's kind of sad. So, for the number 5 spot, I present to you our first not from Total Drama Island to Total Drama Revenge of the Island. So you're probably thinking, wait, what? So it's kind of weird. Some people don't call him from the first generation because he is a world tour newcomer, but I think that Alejandro is a first generation, and I think that he's definitely not Gen 2 and not Gen 3 or 4. So Alejandro is one of the characters to have a smooth ending to his character. Most characters sometimes they just feel that when they finish their time on the show, it just doesn't feel right. Courtney, Heather, and Dawn, maybe Gwen, Cameron. These characters don't feel like they have had a smooth ending. Alejandro is not one of them. How can I explain it? He was definitely the best villain, but what about Heather, you say? The best villain. I know a lot of people think she's the best because she's original, but not everything that is original is the best. Yeah? Okay. So why do I like him? I think that as a villain he was able to cause eliminations also in very different ways. Whether it was manipulating the girls with his good looks, or whether it was manipulating the guys and manipulating the guys from his charming words. Not charming words, but with his words, he definitely he was definitely when words failed, his abs did his talking. Yeah, did the talking. Also, I have a question. So let's get on to All Stars, where a lot of people say that what happened to him and Mel was bad and not good. But I think that again, it feels very human. I mean, it feels like something like that would happen. I mean, Ahan will learn from his mistake. Maybe being evil sometimes is not very good. So I think that gives a lesson. Don't be evil. Don't be Ahan. So I don't know what I'm saying. So number 4 comes to the schemer Noah. So Noah, I really think that Noah is the character with the most missed potential in the world. I mean, he was only in 3-ish seasons, if you call the Redonkulous Races season, because it's a spin-off. But well, yeah. And if you count Rama Rama, and I don't think that counts. So well, yeah. So Noah I think is one of the best characters because he was an absolutely funny character. I mean, if you notice, I'm just gonna take I remembered my tier list video, and most of the characters that were in Drama King, Drama Queen are characters that are on this list. So, well, yeah. Well, this is awkward. My recording crashed, so I can't really. So I really. So I just. So I can't show what happens. So I'm just gonna record the top 3, and again, and you'll see that. I guess I'm gonna edit it in, and so I'm sorry that it crashed, but now you can see what else I talked about Noah, but you can see the top 3. Okay, bye. So as you probably heard from the little voiceover that I did, my recording crashed, and so I have to film this again. So let's just go into the top 3. It crashed at Noah. So for my number 3 spot, taking the second best Total Drama Revenge of the Island character, the winner of Total Drama All Stars, Zoe. So the thing with Zoe's character, that in the 2 seasons that she was in, she was good. I mean, she was the finalist of the season that I actually rooted for. I wanted Zoe to win. I actually very liked her character, and that's why she's here. So let's go to Revenge of the Island. So in the season, most of Zoe's screen time is about Mike, and as I said, I think that their relationship is wholesome, and I really like that. And she had sometimes like the Commando storyline, the Commando Zoe storyline, or her conflict with Scott. It felt like when she was with Mike, she shined, but when she wasn't with Mike, it's not like she wasn't bad. It's not like she wasn't bad. She was bad. Yeah. So let's go to All Stars. My biggest complaint is that is that Zoe was blind for a lot of time. As you can see with how I would change the drama All Stars if we didn't already put an I for the video. I'm gonna put it right now. Yeah, so you could know. So in the video, I actually made Zoe know about the mail while Sunday Mighty Sunday rolled around. And I think that's a little too late, but I think that how she could be changed is her storylines. I mean, her one-sided conflict with Courtney and her friendship with Gwen. I think that if they would use that more and kind of branched that over her screen time and not her just being blind and not doing much, I think it will be good. I actually had a conflict with myself about should I put Zoe number 4 and put Noah number 3 or opposite. So I actually chose Zoe because first I thought she had more screen time, and then I remembered that I was so bored one day. I had statistics for how much episodes everyone was in, so I checked, and Zoe was, I already know she was in 26 episodes. She was the only Revenge of the Islands contestant to be in all of the episodes of 2 seasons. So the other people from the Tolorama Island cast are Heather, Duncan, and Gwen, which 2 of them were on the list. So yeah, and Zoe was behind Noah by 1 episode. Noah was in one episode more than Zoe, and I'm not counting the redonkulous race or any character in it. I'm not counting screen time, so maybe he would be in a lot more, but this is from the first 4 seasons. So yeah, and I thought about it, but then I realized that Noah doesn't take any roles, and in most of the episode he doesn't even talk. Like I remember that Zoe didn't. Only in the episode Food Fright of All Stars she didn't have any lines. In all of the episodes she said at least 1 word, which yeah, that's cool. So I think I talked about Zoe enough. Tolorama Ricky is shedding tears, and let's go into number 2. For the number 2 spot, I present to you the best Tolorama Revenge of the Island contestant. I present to you Scott. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain much about him, but Scott was one of the best characters because first let's talk about Revenge of the Island. He was one of the best antagonists. I remember in one of my videos, I'm still working in a top 10 antagonist video, and he was actually tied with Heather. I actually had a tie with Heather for how good of a strategist he was. That's how good he was. I mean Heather, the total drama villain, having a tie with someone like him. I mean, I really found that surprising. I thought Heather was gonna be more. I mean, when I sat down, to rewatch Revenge of the Island. Before I just hated the season because I thought it was forgettable and nothing good happened in it. But when I rewatched that, the season was great. It was one of the best seasons to ever come out of Total Drama. It's in my top 4. But overall, I thought that Scott was a way worse villain. Was way he was a bad villain. But turns out not. Scott was an amazing antagonist, and I really liked the time he was on the show. And let's go over All Stars. I think this is common sense to everyone who watched my channel, but if you didn't know, Scottney is better than the Dunkney. Period. Yeah, okay. Also, he was really funny in the season. He had so much funny lines. If I would remember, I would put an eye for a video someone else made of Scott's best moments. I watched that video so much times and I can't stop laughing. So I'm gonna put them and first I'm not claiming to create any of them. I'm not that funny. But yeah, it was really funny to watch. So I hope I don't get copyright. So I think this is it for Scott. And before we go into my number one best total drama character, let's go into the honorable mentions. So I have a list here. So I'm gonna just read the honorable mentions. A lot of these characters are great characters, but the top 10 was a little bit too crowded, so I couldn't really add them, and I'm sorry. Okay, so for the honorable mentions from the Total Drama Island cast, I have Owen, Lindsay, Tyler, Harold, and Bridget. And from the Revenge of the Island cast, I have Dakota, B/Beverly, Brick, and Anne Maria. And I'm not gonna talk about them. Maybe I'm gonna talk about them in the season that we're in the season review. But I don't think I'm gonna go into detail on why I like every one of them. But if you see in my tier list video, you can understand my why I like these people. So for my number one spot, the best total drama character, period, I present to you the Type A girl, the CIT, the BITC, Courtney. Do I really need to explain why Courtney is the best character? Like, do I? I can't read. Okay, let's go over every season she was in. Total Drama Island, even though she got her worst placement, I'd actually say it was one of her best seasons. I thoroughly liked her in the season, and I thought what they did with her and her relationship with Duncan was okay. It was definitely not her favorite season. As you've seen, I like Scottney more than Courtney, and if they were ever to make a new season, and which they do, and they have a new cast, so it's not gonna happen. But if they are gonna use the old cast, I really hope they would develop Scottney more, because they have a lot of potential. Okay, I'm getting out of track. So Total Drama Island. Her elimination was kind of crap. I mean, I know a lot of basics training. I don't know how to feel about that episode. It's definitely not good, but it's definitely not bad. I mean, the elimination is what really took it down for me. So that's why it was not my top 10 best Total Drama episode, but it's probably not gonna be in my top 10 worst. If you want to, we'll make one. So, Courtney, okay, Total Drama Action. For the first 2 Aftermaths episodes, I don't know, when I rewatched Action, from all of the people who did not compete, Courtney felt just out. She didn't feel like someone. She felt like someone that should have competed in the season, and in episode 13 she did. From episode 13, and she started competing. She started winning challenges, and I actually liked that. I would really wish they would use that. They would use that more. She would win more challenges in later seasons. My only complaint about her in action, I'm okay doing the lawsuit, suing the show. I'm stupid. Um, and I'm okay with that, but I didn't really like her unfair advantage in the game. I thought that you could really, I don't know, I thought that maybe she could return to the game, but won't have any unfair advantages. I understand maybe having Gaffers losing Ocean's 8 or 9 because if the grips would lose and she wouldn't have the unfair advantage, she would definitely be out, and yeah, that's bad. So let's end with Courtney's time on action and go to Total Drama World Tour. As I said with Gwen, first 13 episode was her best season. She kind of returned to her old island. She kind of was a perfect mix of her in island and her in action, actually wanting to be leader and winning challenges, but still trying to be nice. But then I See London happened, and yeah, it's a horrible episode. And from I See London to Chinese Fake Out, it was just a roller coaster of emotion, from hate to sadness to happiness to jealousy, from I don't know what was in her head. So, World Tour, you thought it was gonna be her worst season? No, All Stars came around. As with World Tour, first 10 episodes was her best season. Then, the 11th episode, expect to see Sunday Mighty Sunday on the list. I don't really think I need to explain. Courtney is the best. Peace out. Leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell. I don't know. Peace out. Goodbye.